Yo, what is going on, everyone? My name is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about my week number 13 must-start and must-sit running backs for fantasy football in 2021. Inside today's video, we'll begin by discussing my must-start running backs in depth, and then about halfway into the video, we're going to be pivoting into my must-sit running backs of the week based upon their matchups for week number 13. But before we could get into things, I would like to ask that if you are new to the channel and you do end up enjoying today's video, to please make sure that you do hit that subscribe button down below, because not only is it free, we put out content every single day to help you guys win your 2021 fantasy football championship. And while you're down there, whether you are new to the channel or not, please make sure to hit that like button down below. It would help us out a ton. And if you would like to follow me on Twitter, please do so at NotoriousFNTSY. So without further ado, let's get into my week number 13 must start and must sit running backs. We begin with the must start category, headlined by Alexander Mattison, running back of the Minnesota Vikings. This week, they face the Detroit Lions in Detroit. With Dalvin Cook sidelined for at least the next 2 weeks, we should expect Alexander Mattison to take over as the clear lead running back on the team. We saw that without Dalvin Cook in week number 5 up against the Lions, who he just so happens to be playing this week. Mattison had 25 carries for 113 yards. He also saw 7 receptions for 40 yards, as well as a touchdown in the receiving department. This week, he gets the Lions again, who rank 29th in rush DVOA. Number 1 would be the best, 32nd is the worst. So they are a bottom 3 rush defense in the NFL via DVOA. This should be considered an absolute smash matchup for Alexander Mattison. This whole Minnesota Vikings team is going to eat like a Thanksgiving feast up against the Detroit Lions, and I expect Alexander Mattison to go in, and I expect him to potentially finish as a top 5 running back on the week. And with how cupcake of a matchup this is, with how soft this matchup is up against the Detroit Lions, I would not be surprised at all if Alexander Mattison was the number 1 overall running back at the end of the week. Next must-start running back of today's video is Myles Gaskin of the Miami Dolphins, facing the Giants this week at home in Miami. Myles Gaskin has had 2 excellent performances back-to-back, scoring a touchdown in 2 straight games. Last week up against the Carolina Panthers, he had 16 carries for 49 yards, as well as scoring 2 touchdowns. Even with Phillip Lindsay joining the team recently, Gaskin dominated the snap counts over Phillip Lindsay, having 37 snaps, with Phillip Lindsay just having 15. Given how strong the Miami Dolphins offense and defense has looked over this 4-game winning streak, it should be no surprise at all if they just dominate the Giants all game long. And it wouldn't be surprising even more so now that Daniel Jones isn't the starting quarterback of the team because he ended up getting hurt. So they are going to look to Mike Glennon. Mike Glennon is going to struggle immensely up against this Dolphins defense that, like I just stated, have been on fucking fire. They're getting turnovers left and right. They turned over Cam Newton and PJ Walker. They turned over Cam Newton twice. They turned over PJ Walker once. This should be a easy matchup for Myles Gaskin to dominate, because the Dolphins are going to control the time of possession in this game. And I think later on in the game, when they're up by so many points, they're going to be running the ball a ton. And I expect Myles Gaskin to have top 10, top 12 potential on the week. My final must-start running back before we pivot into the must-sits is Cordarrelle Patterson of the Atlanta Falcons, going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this week in Atlanta. Funny enough, it came out that Cordarrelle Patterson is the 3rd-string safety on the Falcons. This man can do it all. He literally can. He's the running back, their best running back right now. He's probably their best wide receiver with Calvin Ridley out. And now, maybe he'll get to play safety this week. Very fun to watch Cordarrelle Patterson. Last week, the Buccaneers, who the Falcons are facing in this matchup, did a really good job of keeping Jonathan Taylor in check and keeping him from taking over the game. While he still did end up scoring a touchdown in that matchup, he failed to eclipse over 100 yards, which has not happened for Jonathan Taylor since week number 8. With that said, some may be nervous to start Cordarrelle Patterson, as the matchup is not ideal, and Matt Ryan has looked like complete and utter dog shit over the last 3 games. Even with all of those negatives, Patterson is the bright spot on this team. Despite Matt Ryan struggling, Patterson carried the ball 16 times for 108 yards and 2 touchdowns last week. I believe that Cordarrelle Patterson is immune to any of the bullshit happening for the Falcons. Like I said, this guy is literally the best running back on their team, while simultaneously being the best wide receiver there when Calvin Ridley is out. This guy is the focal point. He is the key piece in this offense. They drafted Kyle Pitts so early in the NFL draft, and they said, "Get out of here, Kyle Pitts. It's Cordarrelle Patterson season. This guy has been so dominant all season long that I believe you just got to start him this week, even up against a tough Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. But before we could pivot into the must-sit category, I would like to let you guys know that we have partnered with Yahoo Fantasy this NFL season to bring you guys some great offers. Check out our exclusive limited time offer, which gets you guys 1 free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum. To qualify, you need to be new to Yahoo, sign up for an account via the link down below, deposit, and play. That's it. Yahoo will send us your name after you play in your first paid contest, and we'll reach out to you via email with your coupon. If you would like immediate access, that's okay as well. All you got to do is email support@awesemo.com, and we'll get you set up immediately. You can also claim a free $10 of site credit by clicking the link in the video description below, which can be used to enter any Yahoo contest, including Sunday's $1 million NFL baller. Make sure to use our DFS tools as well as projections designed specifically for Yahoo to give you guys the best shot at winning big. Please make sure that you guys do check out Yahoo Fantasy, link down below in the description. Now we pivot to the must-sit running backs of the week, headlined by Miles Sanders of the Philadelphia Eagles going up against the Jumbo Jets in New York this week. Sanders has been a complete and utter fucking disaster. He's been a failure all season long. He has eclipsed 10 half PPR points just once. Last week, he was outsnapped by Boston Scott with just 22 snaps to Boston Scott's 34 and 9 carries for 64 yards in that game. Sanders cannot get it done week in and week out, and I'm tired of trying to talk myself into Miles Sanders. But Nick, this is a great matchup. I understand this is an excellent matchup up against the Jets. My belief, though, is just diminished. It is so gone for Miles Sanders. I just don't think that he can do it. I think Boston Scott could have a great game. I just don't think that the team trusts Miles Sanders. It just seems like they hate the guy. So regardless of how much they run the ball, even with them running the ball more, it just seems like Miles Sanders isn't getting involved. And I hope that maybe me calling him a must-sit will jinx him into having a huge showing up against the Jets. I really do, because I feel bad for those of you who drafted Miles Sanders with how much of a disaster he's been. So I hope he plays good. I just don't think it happens. I just don't think you guys want to be trusting Miles Sanders at this point in the season. My final must-sit running back is David Johnson of the Houston Texans going up against the Indianapolis Colts. Last week, Rex Burkhead outsnapped David Johnson 35-22. Johnson had 10 carries for 39 yards, and on the season, this man is averaging just 3.1 yards per carry. What a fall from grace from the David Johnson of a couple of years ago in Arizona, who was just dominant. One of the best running backs in the NFL. It honestly sucks to see David Johnson's career go down like to this. Really, it does. 3.1 yards per carry. There are just no signs at all pointing towards anything positive for David Johnson. So just leave him on the bench. Rex Burkhead's outsnapping the guy. The dude's averaging 3.1 yards per carry. Just sit him down. I understand that earlier on in the season, he had some type of fantasy relevance because people thought he'd be the #1 running back on the Texans. Earlier on in the season, it was Mark Ingram. Then Mark Ingram leaves. So then we had some David Johnson. But now recently, Rex Burkhead has took over. So I just don't want anything to do with David Johnson. I don't think you guys should want anything to do with David Johnson either. So let me know down below in the comment section what you guys thought about today's video. Are there any must-start running backs that I didn't discuss, or any must-sit running backs that I didn't discuss? I would love to hear that down below in the comment section, as I love talking with you guys down there. Again, if you would like to follow me on Twitter, please do so at NotoriousFNTSY, and please make sure that you guys do go ahead and check out Yahoo Fantasy, link down below in the description. I love you guys all so much. I hope you guys have a great rest of your guys' day. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button. As always, guys, goodbye.